Okay, this is sort of funny and it's also very, very depressing. At a recent fundraiser, Democratic candidate and former Barack Obama Vice President Joe Biden made some promises to wealthy donors, including that he won't, quote, demonize them and that nothing big will change for them if he becomes president of the United States. And my reaction was, yeah, Joe, we know that. I don't think you had to say that. We know that. Joe Biden basically saying the quiet part out loud, making clear that his politics are politics of centrist status quo, center leftism. And we knew that, right? Here is a list of what Joe Biden had to say just a couple of days ago to a group of rich donors in New York City. Joe Biden told them, I need you very badly. Joe Biden told these wealthy contributors in New York City, no one's standard of living will change. Nothing would fundamentally change. Joe Biden said that rich people are, quote, just as patriotic as poor people. Joe Biden said, quote, we may not want to demonize anybody who has made money. And Joe Biden said, I hope if I win this nomination, I won't let you down, meaning you rich people who are giving me money. We know, Joe, we know. This is actually great in a sense. This is confirmation about exactly what we will get with Joe Biden. We knew that Joe Biden was the status quo economic policy with some slight leftward moves combined with moderately left social policy. That's what we could expect from Joe Biden, and he's confirming it here. This idea of nothing will fundamentally change, that's literally status quo centrism. I'm basically in the middle and slightly to the left on social policy, and I'll make some tweaks on economic policy, but nothing is substantively going to change. He needs the rich donors. He's not going to do anything that's going to be scary to them. And he's telling them, I'm safe for you. I will say stuff on the campaign trail about economic justice and inequality and paying people's fair share and all of this stuff. But that big picture, he'll work around the edges and he's not going to substantively change things for them, other than playing at the margins a little bit. So this is the exact opposite of change you can believe in. It's no change, and you can be sure of it, and you can safely vote for me without worrying that I'm going to take too much of your money. He's saying there will be some cake crumbs for the middle class and the poor sprinkled on them, but that big picture, the rich are going to keep their full, rich, decadent Black Forest chocolate cakes, or whatever analogy or metaphor you want to apply here. This is like a really memorable non-story of the campaign in the sense that we knew that this was why Joe Biden was the safe establishment candidate. He will say mostly the right things in public on policy. Now, he has gaffes, obviously, but he is going to be completely predictable in his governance. There is not going to be anything earth-shaking that will happen. And in a sense, this is very similar to what we expected with Hillary Clinton. When I've said that a Hillary Clinton presidency would have been boring in a sense, it's because she would have been predictably center left. We would have, as a progressive show, critiqued her from further to her left. She wouldn't have done anything that would have generated the worldwide cartoonish embarrassment that Donald Trump has generated, but it would have been all of the expected stuff. There would have been some crumbs for the lower and middle class, and there would have been status quo, center-left foreign policy, period, big picture. And Joe Biden is effectively the same as far as that goes. We know what we get with him. And in a sense, I think it's a good thing that this is now out in the open. The contrast between Joe Biden and people like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren is now much more clear. Vote for what you want. And it's now really clear what it is that each candidate is offering. I've said before, I don't really understand undecided voters 2 months or a month before the election, once we've had the debates and once we've had the primaries. I really don't understand how someone could be undecided at that point in time, because it's so clear how different whatever candidates remain are at that point. And even when you look at Hillary and Trump, very, very different. I know Hillary is a center-left Democrat, but very different than Donald Trump. And I didn't understand how someone could be undecided a few weeks before the election in 2016, as people would call in and tell me that they were. Right now, I understand saying, I'm on the progressive wing. So for me, it could be Warren, it could be Bernie, it could be somebody else if they end up being the nominee. And if it's Biden, I'm going to vote for him because he's better than Trump, right? Like, it's super clear to me at this point sort of how someone might be in that mode. But what at this point is really great that has come from these revelations from Joe Biden in private is that there is no more question about what a Joe Biden presidency would be if you had any question remaining, which many of us who follow this stuff didn't. Safe for very rich people, crumbs for the lower and middle classes, and a center-left foreign policy. That's what we can expect, and it's abundantly clear, and now we can all support the candidate that we believe most aligns with our values. I want to hear from you. What do you make of these statements by Joe Biden in private, although we now know what was said, to very wealthy donors in New York City? I'm on Twitter at @dpakman. Follow me. Let me know what you think. And while you're there, follow the show on Twitter as well, at David Pakman Show. You're always searching for ways to transform your life into one that's smarter, richer, more connected with your world. And at excelsior.edu, they believe nothing is more transformative than education. And for nearly 50 years, Excelsior College, a fully accredited nonprofit leader in online education, has been helping adult students complete their college degrees, achieve their career goals, offering career-focused programs in health sciences, nursing, cybersecurity, criminal justice, business, and more that enable students to advance their careers or find employment in high-demand fields. Excelsior's online classes give you the flexibility to earn your degree on your time, wherever you are. In addition to world-class, challenging coursework, Excelsior offers a generous credit transfer policy and is dedicated to student support. Whether your goal is building a business, leading a team, or helping others, there is a degree to help you get there. You'll build on the experience you already have to develop new skills, forge new connections, gain the knowledge you need to take that next step. Check out excelsior.edu/keeplearning to learn more.